Peace and power, family. I believe this is going to be the first video of 2021, so let's start it out right. I am wishing peace and tranquility over you and all of your houses, as always. Peace and power, all power to all. We're going to continue on a series that I'm starting with excerpts from my book, The Unseen Clown: Preponderance of the Evidence. My name is Tridia Murphy. I am Ponda Qwan, and what I'll be focusing on is the very last chapter of the book, Qwan Quotes. These are nuggets of wisdom, sayings that I've come up with throughout my walk, 49 years on this planet, in this realm. So if you go toward the back of the book, you'll find Qwan Quotes. Okay, and we'll start off or continue with this. I believe I started out with the first three. So this is number 4. Conscious responsiveness is a weapon not made for cowards, but developed from a highly disciplined mind. Used for good or evil, doesn't have to apply. And what that means is, whenever you're facing adversity, or it doesn't even need to be adversity, whatever you do, it's mastering a strong spirit of mindfulness, knowing and understanding, harvesting the power of your stillness. I laugh to myself because it's really a misnomer to believe that there is meekness in your kindness, in your softness. No, that does take a lot of power and discipline. When my mother was alive, she had her favorite rocking chair that she sat in. And that was grand central. The inner workings of not just her household, but helping everyone externally, right from her chair. Anything you needed, this woman made it manifest. I call her the Oracle. She was and is. So when we stop being reactive, especially so quick to things, take a pause in everything you do. Some wonder why I speak so slow most of the time. I don't pop off. I'm not here rah, 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 because I am cognizant of what I'm doing. I take care in my thoughts. I try not to plan out and script too many things when I come to you. I want to be as authentic as possible. And it's not being fake. I saw this wonderful post that asked the question, can you be spiritual and curse or use profanity? And I piggybacked off of that and I asked the question, are you not spiritual, or are you not raw or authentic if you don't? I see a lot of times that people equate authenticity or realness with being profane. I don't get that. Do I curse? Absolutely. Everything has its place. I would like to think in your intelligence when you are especially educating, edifying, depending on who you're speaking with in the context of what you're speaking. What's more important? Getting that message, not only getting that message across, or for it to be received properly. Depending on who you're dealing with, if you come to them in a profane way, they'll shut down and turn off, tune out. What have you accomplished? And then there are others that won't get it unless you come in that fashion. But even in doing that, make it make sense. Don't just be absurd for the sake of absurdity. So, again, conscious unresponsiveness. You say a lot with your silence. How you look, how you move, your essence should precede you. It's not just in the things you say. How do you move? Your intent always manifests, always. So moving on, emerging with understanding of self that is deeper than the sea and expanding wider than the depths of the outer realms of deep space. I am the center of how 1 + 1 = 3. Now, how does 1 + 1 = 3? We are programmed that 1 + 1 = 2. Okay. Now, when you're building structures, or whether it's physical structures or your structure in thought, we've been trained that way. But what is the plus? What is that dark matter in between? I am that dark matter. I am the plus. I am that void that is not a void. I am, you are. There is always the unseen that cannot be dismissed. Dig deeper. There is more than this. Left, right, up, down. Front, back. There's within. The in and out. The in and out is a whole nother dimension. But in all of that, it always goes back to one. When you exhale your last breath, that energy is not destroyed. It returns back. You return back to your purest form. And what do you take with you? Huh? What are you taking with you? I call back everything that I put forth in the universe. I command all to return back to me, unfiltered. Can you get to the point where you can say that? Can you cast that spell? Many will say they can. Test it. Test it. I challenge you to test that. I can walk in that. I can totally walk in that. You know your intentions. You know what you're doing and why you're doing it. You know how you move. Okay? So Are we walking in honor, or are there hidden agendas? Rhetorical. So whatever chambers you're going through, you emerge with a deeper understanding of who you really are, because constantly things are being poured into you. Guard your temple. Guard your temple. If you want the beautiful benefits, efficient benefits, guard what you're letting in. Whatever you didn't do last year, make that your goal. Affirm that you will take better care, not just of your outward vessel, but your inner being. We'll do one more. Give of yourself without giving yourself away. That's easy to understand. Give of yourself without giving yourself away. There's this poem, this spoken word piece that I did. My cup shall not be empty. Look it up. You pour and you pour and you pour and you pour. You cannot say yes to everybody and everything without being replenished. Okay? We are powerful, but we must not empty ourselves completely as much as we want to. As much as we want to. And then you have to recognize how what you're pouring out is being received. I speak about reciprocity. Sometimes it's not always going to be reciprocated. And in certain instances, that's okay. If someone is in need and they ask to borrow money, depending on the amount, I will give if I am able to give, not expecting it to be returned. And I'm not peering and looking, what are they doing with it? What are they going to do? No. Once I do something, once I give it with the understanding that it's being given, don't get me wrong now, I'm not talking about large sums of money. If it's loan, I'm going to be clear and concise. Document everything. I spoke about that in the first video of this series I'm doing. Documentation for your physical and spiritual. But yeah, again, if you give, know your why behind that. You don't do things, you're not doing things, again, with the hidden expectations of anything. Not when you're really doing it in love. So when you see that person elevate, I don't want the give back or the credit so I can feel puffed up. You know. And you can look with pride, just as you look at your child or a project you've done with pride. You can feel the shine from afar. Not everything is meant for you to be in the forefront or in the spotlight. And when you feel a spirit of bitterness coming, you have to ask yourself, why? So again, be mindful in everything that you do. Everything from a spirit of mindfulness. So I'll stop there. Again, that is from the last part of my book, The Unseen Clown, Preponderance of the Evidence. And your life's story, your life's work, your end work is preponderance of the evidence. That is how your life will be judged, not by one act, not by one act, but by preponderance of the evidence. That's why I'll never understand. You can say yes, 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 yes. People please all day long. But the one time that you have to say no or withdraw, that's when all of a sudden you are the worst thing walking. And I laugh because it's been said, you're the villain in someone's story. Yes, yes. But you know what? I'll take that. I'll take that. If I can live and walk free, I'll take that. Hey, Maleficent is deemed a villain by many, but I love her. So in that, I say to you, be the light to those who need to feel the warmth of your shine and know when to be darkness to those who need to feel the cool of your shade. Even in that, there is light. My name is Trinia Murphy, and I am Ponder Qwan.